I'm Emily Monday. I'm on the SPU women's rowing team.
Emily, the crews head down to Northern California to Lake Natoma for the WIRA Championships. Your thoughts on that regatta this weekend?
I'm really excited and ready for it. We've worked really hard this season, and it'll be awesome to see just like how far we've come in this short time, especially since we had a late start in November.
It serves as the West Coast Championship, so there will be a lot of crews there. How will that dynamic be? Rowing against some crews you're not familiar with?
Well, we've had some experience with bigger events, like when we went to Eugene. There's quite a few crews there, and then when one boat went to San Diego, that was amazing. But it's exciting to have more crews alongside. In fact, I think it makes us go faster.
Well, you're familiar with Northern California. Tell us where you're from.
I'm from Chester, California, which is actually about 3 hours away from Sacramento, up in the northern Sierra Nevada, Southern Cascades.
Great. Had you had any rowing experience in Chester?
No, we have a lake, but all I've done is kayak. Nothing like this.
Is kayaking translated at all into rowing?
No, not at all.
Not at all. So how did you get started here rowing at SPU?
Well, I was my freshman year. They had the Involve-A-Roma out in the loop, and I remember they had a huge, like one of the racing shells. I don't remember if it was 8 or 4, and I was really interested in it. And my sister had done rowing in Montana, and I talked to my mom. She's like, "No, don't do it." So then the next year, I was just like, "Mom, I'm rowing. I'm just gonna row," and so I joined up, and it's stayed with it ever since.
Great. You are one of the few returning rowers with some experience. How has that process been, getting so many new novice rowers into the program?
It's been amazing, and just like the number of girls that we've had come in this year and stay with us. It's really, I guess it makes me step up my game of like staying consistent and being like a leader. Last year I was a novice, so it's like I got to see how the novices interacted with the varsity, and then so this year is my opportunity to set that tone.
Great. Well, down in California at the WIRA Championships, could be 2 days of racing, actually several races. What is the key when you know you'll be racing more than once?
Stay out of the sun, stay hydrated, don't eat too much. A lot of it is just like staying mentally prepared and not like taking a nap in the middle of the day, as tempting as it is, and just like really staying focused and ready to go.
You mentioned the sun. Have you checked the weather report for this weekend?
It's supposed to be 80 degrees.
How you're familiar with the sun, being from Northern California, and that kind of heat. What will you recommend to your teammates to deal with that, as it's different than the weather you've been training in right now?
Well, we had a bit of a taste of it in Eugene, so it was mostly like staying hydrated. We have some Gatorade to keep the electrolytes in, and mostly just like staying out of the sun, but like not sitting down and letting everything stiffen up.
You're rowing in an 8 this year. You've rowed in 4s before. What's the major difference between the two?
4s are a lot tippier, and I can definitely feel the difference in if I just like skip my seat, then the boat like flops. And it's a slightly more stable, and it helps. It allows people to hide technical things a little bit more, which is why we switch back and forth between 4s and 8s, so just to keep each other accountable.
8s tend to finish races faster than the 4s. How much more effort or exertion is it in a 4 to finish a 2,000-meter race?
I've never raced in a 4 and a 2K, but they tend to range from like 30 seconds to a minute more on time. And at our last race in Eugene, just watching the varsity 4 take on the other crews is amazing to watch. They went from 5th to 3rd in like maybe a couple hundred meters.
Great. Well, we're hoping some exciting racing like that this weekend. First, let's tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you choose to come to Seattle Pacific?
Well, I got a bunch of college stuff in the mail, and I got one of the SPU magazines. I was just looking through it, and just looking at the student-faculty ratio. I come from a really small town, and so like the small classroom definitely appeals to me. So looking at that, and then they had my major, which is also a bonus. And I've always wanted to go to somewhere in this area, because it's not exactly like California, but similar with somewhat with the temperatures from where I'm from.
Great.
And mountains.
And what is your major?
I'm majoring in dietetics. So it's like a food nutrition with dietetics concentration.
Great. And when will you graduate?
I will graduate in December, so like December 8th of this year.
All right. And then after graduating December, what's next for Emily Monday?
I'll be working for about 6 months until the actual graduation ceremony, and then I will be going on to an internship and potentially a master's degree.
Fantastic. Long range, what's your ideal job?
I think I really want to work in a hospital. I'm looking at like oncology dietitian. We had a speaker in one of my classes, and it sounds like a really cool area. But there's so many different areas. I don't really know what yet.
Certainly. Well, we're certain whatever area you end up in, you'll do fantastic, just like you have in rowing here. Emily, thanks for your time, and good luck down in Northern California this weekend.
Thank you.